What's up, everybody? It's Matt from Hop on Pop Culture. Welcome back to the channel, or if you're new, hello. If you are new, take a second to subscribe. That I'd greatly appreciate that. Like this video and comment hello. I'd love to say hi back. So thank you guys for tuning in. Those of you that have been with me for a little while, I apologize for the hiatus I've taken. I was on vacation, and then that kind of slowed my momentum, and before you know it, I was dragging my heels getting the next video out. But if you're new to this channel, or this is a segment I like to do. I kind of sort of call it Comic Book Corner at the moment, where I just review comics. I've got some other videos, so if you're new, check those out. But let's dive into a comic review. Today I've got Kingdom Come, which was written by Mark Waid and illustrated by Alex Ross. This book itself has won 5 Eisner and Harvey Awards, which is pretty neat. Came out at least 20 years ago, because my copy says 20th edition, and I don't remember the exact year, but I'm on the 96 is when it came out, so a little bit more than 20 years now. But it's been out for a long time. It's an Elseworlds comic, which is DC's like umbrella or branch of a DC Comics thing. But the idea with Elseworlds Comics is that they are the heroes we love, but written in an alternative world, so it's not canonical to the typical Superman, Batman stuff that we see and we love, but still pretty neat and cool nonetheless. So if you're unfamiliar with Kingdom Come, the idea here is that Superman and the rest of the Justice League have sort of retired, right? They've moved on. They've allowed other superhumans to kind of take the lead. One particular superhuman, Magog, has gone on to kill the Joker, and as you guys know, our superheroes don't like that, so that's sort of what kind of led them into like a retirement. But these new superheroes, they're pretty dangerous and just kind of wild and crazy. So it's really cool in the book to see all these different superheroes, or like new additions of superheroes, like second generation Blue Beetle or something like that. So that's really neat. But anyways, so the idea here is that this minister who gets taken on a ride with Scepter to kind of show the events of this book, and the idea of kind of this Armageddon happening. So Superman retires and then is asked to come back because of some big mess up that Magog did, and killed a whole bunch of people, that type of thing. So Wonder Woman and Superman decide to come back and come out of retirement, do their thing. Batman actually is hesitant, so he sort of starts his own thing. So Superman kind of revives the Justice League, and Batman starts something called the Outsiders, his own little section of heroes to combat all this. So there's a bunch of story kind of going on within this. There's a part in there with Shazam, and he's kind of a big part of. I shouldn't say Shazam, because in the book he was actually referred to as Captain Marvel, but nowadays we refer to him as Shazam. But anyways, he's a big part of this. There's a bunch of big players, but the idea again is the metahumans are kind of taking over Earth, and humans are being outnumbered, and some of the new metahumans don't mind killing, and others are against it. And then eventually what this does is lead to an all-out war because of other aspects that I don't want to necessarily spoil for you if you're interested in this book. So that's more or less the story in a very terribly condensed way, and I apologize, and it probably seems terribly condensed because, to be totally honest, I wasn't into it too much. I wasn't a big fan of this one. I hyped it up maybe a little too much to myself, but it's just kind of okay to me. There's not a knock of the author or artist or anything. They did great. I mean, it's a classic book for a reason. A lot of people would enjoy it. I like the story idea behind it. I just wasn't maybe in love with the execution of the story. As far as the artistry goes, the art is really cool. If you take a look at the picture, there's some very like almost realistic drawings to this thing. But because of that style and the layout of this book, it became very difficult to like kind of track what's going on. And part of that is there's, like I mentioned earlier, there's so many new superheroes or superhumans introduced that they just kind of throw these characters with whatever on the thing, and it's like, are you supposed to know who they are? You're not, and just a lot of stuff going on. It's very all over the place, and so for me, it wasn't super enjoyable. I found myself part of the reason I took a hiatus is just it took me like probably a week and a half to finish this. It's 4 parts because it's originally 4 comics, so it's 4 parts, and the first couple parts were moved really slow. The fourth part was moved pretty quick and was fine, but just that kind of sporadic layout and stuff really deterred me from this. So I don't want to sound like I'm bashing Kingdom Come because I know it's a classic, and like I said, it's a classic for a reason. But unfortunately, it's just not something I was into. It's sort of, for me personally, it missed the mark. So in my last review, I gave like a rating out of 5, so this one I would probably give like a 2 out of 5 personally, and somebody else can give it a 4 or 5 out of 5. But I wasn't in love with it. My favorite part again was seeing all the different iterations of superheroes, and sort of how they would evolve down the road, right? So Dick Grayson moved on to do something else. You've seen like second and thirds of Blue Beetle and all these other B characters, Booster Golds and things like that. That was really cool to see. I always like to see the idea of Elseworld, Otherworld type things, but just it wasn't there for me. I wish I could like it more. Maybe if they did a animated adaptation to it, I'd probably enjoy that a little bit more. I know DC likes to do their animated movies, and this would probably be great content for one of those, but just as far as reading it, I wasn't, I don't know, just was underwhelmed by it, I suppose. So that's in, the review's in, nothing too crazy. If you're on the fence about it, read it. I mean, it's probably a good read to the average person. Just wasn't my cup of tea, so there it is. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to Hop on Pop Culture here, specifically the Comic Book Corner. Check out my other videos. I got another comic book review and a couple unboxing videos, so check those out. Again, if you're new or you haven't yet, like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for supporting me, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.